Your baby's been crying for hours. You've fed them, you've changed them, you've rocked them, bounced them, driven around the block at midnight. We've been there, but nothing works. And the worst part isn't the exhaustion, it's the feeling that you're failing your own child. I want to start today by telling you something important. You are not failing, but there is something that almost nobody's talking about, and once you understand it, everything changes. I'm Dr. Steve Lako with Lako Family Chiropractic in Roswell, Georgia, and I work with babies and children every single day whose parents came in exactly where you are right now, exhausted, frustrated, and completely out of answers. Today we're going to talk about colic, what it actually is, what's really causing it, and why the standard advice of just waiting it out is leaving so many families suffering longer than they need to. Let's start with the word colic itself, because most parents don't realize that colic is not a diagnosis, it's a description. When a doctor tells you your baby has colic, what they're actually saying is your baby cries excessively and we don't know why. The traditional definition is the rule of threes, crying for more than 3 hours a day, more than 3 days a week for more than 3 weeks in a row. That's it. That's the whole definition. There's no blood test for colic, no scan, no specific cause identified, just your baby cries a lot and hopefully it stops by month 4. And for millions of moms, that answer is simply not good enough because you're in the trenches every single night and just wait doesn't cut it. So let's talk about what's actually going on. Here's what most parents, and honestly most healthcare providers, don't fully appreciate. Birth, even a beautiful, uncomplicated birth, is one of the most physically intense events a human body ever goes through, and that includes your baby's body. Think about what happens during delivery. Your baby's head and neck are under enormous pressure as they move through the birth canal. In assisted deliveries, forceps, vacuum extraction, even certain C-sections, that force is multiplied significantly. What this can create is tension in the upper cervical spine, the very top of the neck, right where the brainstem sits. And the brainstem controls everything, the whole show. Breathing, heart rate, digestion, sleep cycles, the body's ability to shift between stress and calm. When there's tension or misalignment in that area after birth, the nervous system gets stuck. Specifically, it gets stuck in what we call a sympathetic dominant state, which is the body's fight or flight mode. And a baby whose nervous system is locked in fight or flight cannot calm down. They can't settle. They can't digest comfortably. They can't sleep. Not because they don't want to, because their body literally doesn't know how. Now, I want to give you some specific signs to look for, because nervous system dysregulation in an infant looks very different from what most parents expect. The first sign is inconsolable crying that peaks in the evening. There's actually a reason for this. Cortisol, the body's stress hormone, naturally rises in the late afternoon. For a baby whose nervous system is already overwhelmed, that cortisol spike pushes them over the edge. The second sign is back arcing. When a baby arches their back during or after feeding, most parents assume it's reflux, and sometimes it is. But back arcing is also a classic sign that the nervous system is in overdrive. The body's stress response literally causes the spine to extend. The third sign is difficulty latching or feeding. The muscles and nerves that control sucking and swallowing run directly through the upper cervical spine. Where there's tension there, feeding becomes uncomfortable or inefficient. The fourth sign is only sleeping on a parent, never in the crib, never in a bassinet, never anywhere that isn't a warm body. This happens because skin-to-skin contact helps regulate a baby's nervous system from the outside when it can't regulate itself from the inside. And the fifth sign is startling easy. An exaggerated startle response, jumping at small sounds, waking at the slightest movement, is a hallmark of a nervous system that's chronically on high alert. If you're nodding at 2 or more of those, this conversation's for you. This is where I want to address something directly, because I know most of you have already tried the gas drops, the gripe water, the probiotic drops, maybe even a formula change, and your baby's still screaming. The reason those things aren't working is because they're treating the symptom, not the source. Gas drops reduce gas. Gripe water soothes the stomach. Probiotics support gut flora, but none of them can reset a nervous system. If the root cause of your baby's distress is neurological, if their body is stuck in a stress response they can't get out of, there's no supplement is going to fix that. because the problem isn't in the gut, the problem is in the communication between the brain and the body. So what does pediatric chiropractic care actually do for a colicky baby? I want to be very clear here because I know the idea of adjusting a newborn sounds alarming to a lot of parents. The adjustments we perform on infants use no more pressure than you would use to test whether a peach is ripe. That's not an exaggeration. We are not cracking anything. We are not doing anything forceful. We're applying gentle, specific pressure to the areas of the spine where tension's being held and allowing the nervous system to release that tension and reset. When that happens, babies shift out of fight or flight. They move into what we call parasympathetic mode, the rest and digest and regulation mode. Rest and connect, rest and grow. That's when the changes parents describe start happening. The baby who hadn't slept more than 45 minutes at a stretch is sleeping 3 hours, then 4. The baby who screamed through every feeding, latching calmly for the first time. The mom who hadn't slept in 6 weeks finally getting a full night's sleep. We didn't fix anything dramatic. We helped the nervous system do what it was always designed to do. If everything I've described today sounds like your baby, I want you to know that you don't have to keep waiting this out. There are answers. There is help, and you found it. Come see us at Lako Family Chiropractic in Roswell, Georgia. We work with newborns, infants, and children every single day, and this is exactly what we do. The link to book a consultation is in the description below. We would love to meet your family, and if this video helped you understand something you didn't understand before, share it with a mom who needs to hear it, because there are a lot of them out there just waiting to find this.